Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for education and technology only. Recently, I have shared that we can map the 1850s Wing Chun into the sports science. And after that, I have received many questions on how is my Wing Chun skill level compared to yoga, meditations, MMA, Western boxing, Jiu-Jitsu, and so forth. And as we know today that there are many types of Wing Chun. There are internal Wing Chun, Qigong Wing Chun, Mind Power Wing Chun, Authentic Wing Chun, Oldest Wing Chun, Modern Wing Chun, Tai Chi Wing Chun, and so forth. And I really have no idea of what they are, and so I don't want to give my opinion. However, to the our Wing Chun friends, my suggestion is this: use the scientific quantified 1850 Wing Chun or traditional Chinese martial arts skill development roadmap as a reference. With that, we know where we are. So, as in the book Wing Chun Matrix, that is a map here on traditional Chinese martial art development, okay, which is it applied to also the 1850s Wing Chun. And the first thing in the traditional Chinese martial art, of course, the proper conduct is the number one important thing. And then you have this physical body development, and then the fighting skill. So this is the core of traditional Chinese martial arts, and Wing Chun inherit that. Okay, Wing Chun 1850, particularly what I'm talking about. So in terms of physical development, you have the physiological states, and then you need to develop the breathing, and then the bone, tendon, muscle development, and you can see that this is a 2C state here, and then the mental development, energy development, anti-impact, like be able to take hit in the body, okay, take impact. So, and then on the other side, the fighting skill will have the momentum handling, the four fighting zone handling, and then all those mechanics and techniques all are supported by this body development. And with this, we know this is the facts, the reality of traditional Chinese martial art and the 1850s Wing Chun. We can use this map because now in the Wing Chun inception, we have actually mapped the physiological state, the training goals into the modern physics and modern sports science. So if you look at this is a physiological state. This is the 2C state here. That is, over here you see the 2C state, the breathing development, and you see that this physiological states. So with this, we actually be able to make it scientific and quantify where we are when we develop the Wing Chun skill. And because this is quantified, we be able to check it in terms of data with the modern wearable, and then we be able to check, say, the force, the speed, the endurance with this tracker. Of course, there are many tracker beside this UFC tracker. Now, in the this page, we know that the traditional Chinese martial art always develop the physiological or the body conditioning as the basic, which is, that's the reason why people have to stand 100 days in hot stands or practice Qigong before that. And that we can see from here, from this physiological state, that if it is a comprehensive traditional Chinese martial art like the 1850s Wing Chun, it is start from going down from this usual state to the Xing Qi or the 2C state develop the breathing. You need to develop breathing here, okay, with the bone, tendon, muscle development, so forth. So it is from here, it go down to the Xing Qi state, and then it get gradually up from the 7 bowl, force flow, impulse momentum, and so forth. And thus it go through like this in the nurture Qi. This is a Xing Qi, and it go up. This is to the sparring and to the real fighting. Okay, so this is comprehensive. And then on the other hand, we can actually track whatever the improvement in our body conditioning. Now, we know today all of this is used by the yoga practitioner, the MMA player, the BJJ player, the Western boxer. Okay, so we know that if we are doing Qigong or internal Wing Chun and so forth, then one need to be able to really clearly track with this instrument here. Okay, so this is belong to this Xing Qi, nurture Qi, quiet mind, mind power, whatever. You need to be able to be tracked by the heart rate, the SpO2, and the heart rate variability. Okay, and if say for the MMA player, we know that they start from this warm up, cool down, and conditioning up to the fighting, and they should track their heart rate variability, the training effect, aerobic, anaerobic, and then the force, speed, endurance, and then also the VO2 max, because this is about endurance, and then this is the lactic threshold about when one can get fatigue. So with this quantized into scientific, we can answer our questions of this how is my Wing Chun skill level compared to yoga, meditation, MMA, Western boxing, jiu-jitsu player, by scientific and objectively, because we know the yoga player, the meditation practitioner, the serious one, the MMA, the BJJ, the Western boxing, they all have this track. It's scientific, okay, and so with that, we know where we are. Say we practice Qigong, then we know what to look for. Okay, what kind of data, scientific data, to show us where we are. And if we going to practice this fighting and the full accelerated impulse momentum handling, then we can track like the MMA player on the UFC force tracker, the VO2 max and the lactic threshold, see whether our body is up to that standard or not. Okay, so with this, we be able to really clearly see where we are, because really, all this name, they all might be good, but we really don't understand, and that's why I don't want to make any comment on what type of Wing Chun one practice and how to judge what skill or so forth for every individual or the level of the skill. So the best way, what I see is, the best way is you just look into this. It is a traditional Chinese martial arts, and when we quantify it or quantize it into sports science, then this is clear for everybody, and we can look into things really objectively, scientifically, in a quantified data. And for example, if we say we practice Qigong, then we better be able to get the number like our yoga friend and meditation friends. If we practice, say, some kinds of sparring and ready for the fighting, then we better to be able to check our VO2 max and like take threshold. Okay, and we know what is the zone we are practicing. So and we know that this is based on medical science too. Okay, because modern sports science is based on medical science, and with this, we know it will deliver. Okay, and we know we can compare with our friends who practice different yoga to MMA, that where we stand. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. With today's science and technology, we are really clear what we are doing. And of course, because of this, we can see our improvement and we can see whether our training is effective or not. So this is to share with you today. Okay, we have this technology for Wing Chun 1850s. Now, if you want to use it, use it. Okay, it's in this book, Wing Chun Inception, and for the 2C and so forth is in this book, so that we are really clear. Everything is open under the sun. Okay, and that way we no longer get into confused or guessing. We know clearly it is the scientific, and it is quantized or quantified, and we know if our MMA friend have this number or have this number in their force, their endurance, their VO2 max, we know right away whether we be able to match them with our body conditioning, when their body conditioning can achieve that level. So this is to share with you today.